Squatters. Some call them opportunists, others call them criminals. But did you know that under Florida law, someone could break into your home, live there for a week, and claim legal rights to your property? Sounds crazy, right? Well, it happens more than you think. And today, we're breaking down how squatting laws work, the politics behind them, and whether due process actually protects homeowners or just enables abuse. Welcome back to Law Unpacked. I'm attorney Sean.
You shouldn't be trying to steal my house. Yes, you are.
We met Adele Andaloro outside the home her parents left her in Flushing, Queens. She's been locked out. She claims squatters moved in on February 6 and refused to leave. Adele and her daughter, with the property deed in hand, went inside less than 10 minutes after police left and the locks were changed. The man who claims to be the one actually leasing the house shows up. The man called the police on her. He says he signed a lease in October, but wouldn't tell us with who.
Technically, he can't be kicked out. We need to go to court.
They consider this a landlord-tenant issue, and by law, it has to be handled through the housing court, not with police.
I'm being arrested.
For what?
For being in my own home.
Arrested for unlawful eviction.
Let's clear up a common misconception. Squatting is not the same as trespassing. Trespassing is a criminal offense that can get someone arrested immediately. Squatting, on the other hand, is a civil issue that can take weeks or even months to resolve through the court system. A squatter is someone who illegally occupies a property without the owner's permission. But here's where it gets tricky. If a squatter stays long enough and follows certain legal loopholes, they can claim adverse possession, meaning they could potentially gain ownership of your property. Florida law used to be incredibly lenient on squatters, but recent changes are aiming to fix that. Here's what the law says. Adverse possession. This is the old law. If a squatter occupied a property for 7 years, paid property taxes, and maintained the home, they could file for ownership. The new law, House Bill 621, made it easier for homeowners to remove squatters immediately by treating them more like trespassers. Eviction process versus immediate removal. Previously, property owners had to go through a long eviction process. Now law enforcement can take action faster under the new law. These changes are a huge win for property owners, but not everyone is happy about them. Squatting laws aren't just about property rights, they're deeply political. Some argue that these laws protect vulnerable people, while others say they enable criminals to exploit homeowners. Tenant advocacy groups. Some activists argue that squatting laws exist to protect people who may have been misled by shady landlords or victims of financial hardship. Property rights advocates. On the other side, property owners and lawmakers argue that squatters are exploiting legal loopholes to steal homes and that law-abiding citizens shouldn't have to fight to reclaim their own property. Police have often been unable to intervene, saying it's a civil issue. This is due to a legal gray area, which leads to frustrating delays for homeowners.
Hello, sir.
You're delusional. You cannot do anything because the police said they will investigate it within a week so they will come back to us.
May
so
I please?
as far as that, you have to leave.
Legislative pushback. While Florida has tightened its laws, some states still lean towards tenant protections that make squatter removal difficult. With politicians divided on how to balance housing rights and property protections, these laws continue to be a hot-button issue. Due process is supposed to protect both homeowners and squatters, but does it work in practice? For homeowners, due process often delays their ability to reclaim property, forcing them into legal battles that cost time and money. For squatters, some argue that they deserve legal protection, especially in cases where they were misled into moving into a vacant property. The court system's role. Squatter cases often get tied up in bureaucratic red tape, with courts overwhelmed by eviction cases and conflicting property claims. Some squatters game the system by using fake leases or moving in just long enough to force landlords into lengthy legal action. While due process is meant to ensure fair treatment, it's clear that the system has major flaws when it comes to property disputes. To understand how extreme these cases can get, let's look at a few real examples. Number 1. A Florida homeowner found a squatter living in their multi-million-dollar home, refusing to leave and claiming tenant rights.
A father and son were arrested. They are accused of, get this, squatting in a $40 million mansion in Naples. 52-year-old David Benson and his 25-year-old son Adam have been charged with trespassing. Police say the owners of the home were gone for about 6 weeks. When the woman walked into her home, she saw both men doing their laundry. The owners say that they did not give the two permission to be in their home.
2. Airbnb nightmare. A homeowner rented their property to someone who then refused to leave, exploiting rental laws to delay eviction.
And next to a warning about a growing trend for American families earning extra cash by renting their home on a popular website. Tonight, one woman couldn't get those renters to leave. Here's ABC's Candace Gibson with what you need to know before opening your home to strangers.
This is what one California homeowner called a living nightmare. Watch as this couple roams the Santa Cruz house, rummaging through the refrigerator cabinets, the homeowner standing on the side, helpless.
Do you feel like a prisoner in your own home?
Absolutely. I have 8 security cameras in my house right now.
33-year-old Poonam Sandhu renting her master bedroom to this couple through Airbnb last month. Weeks into the contract, agreeing to transition to a cash-only payment not involving Airbnb. And that's when Sandhu says the payments stopped coming.
So I asked them very politely, it's time for you guys to go.
And did they go?
They did not.
3. The fake lease scam. Some squatters forge lease agreements to make it harder for police to remove them, forcing property owners into court battles.
I've posted about something similar happening in Georgia before. It's essentially deed theft, and people are creating or falsifying documentation that shows that they are the new rightful owner of somebody else's property. 25 of the 40 years that he got convicted for came from falsifying personal identifiable information, the paperwork that he filed in the court. The other 15 years of the sentence that he got was related to essentially grand theft over $100,000 because the condo is $700,000. If you're a homeowner, obviously protect yourself from deed theft. Fulton County has a whole system that you can sign up for. So if there is ever an attempt to transfer ownership of your property to somebody else.
These cases show just how broken the system has been and why recent legal changes were desperately needed. Florida's new laws are designed to protect property owners and close loopholes. Here's how. Faster removal process. House Bill 621 allows police to treat squatters as criminal trespassers, meaning squatters can be removed immediately. Stronger homeowner protections. Landlords and homeowners now have more power to prevent squatters from filing fake claims. Increased penalties for squatting. The law introduces harsher punishments for those who illegally occupy a property. While this is a big step forward, it raises the question, should other states follow Florida's lead? Squatting laws in Florida have sparked debate about housing rights, property protections, and the limits of due process. While recent legal changes give homeowners more power, the issue isn't going away anytime soon. What do you think? Should other states adopt Florida's approach? Or do squatters deserve more legal protections? Let's talk about it in the comments. Until next time, I'm Attorney Sean. This is Law Impact. Know your rights, protect your property, and stay informed. Take care, everybody.